Good morning, everyone. I am Shali Serene, and today I am going to discuss some topics. Here is an overview of these topics: three-level architecture of DBMS, external level, conceptual level, internal level, and mapping. And after that, last but not the least, data independence. Now, first of all, we will discuss three-level architecture of DBMS. Now, what is DBMS? DBMS is a database management system where a database is a well-organized collection of related data used by application system of some particular organization. A database need to be managed by an appropriate package of software which is called Database Management System. A DBMS architecture is an abstract view of data and hiding all the details. American National Standard Institute proposed these three-level architecture, and first level is known as external level, second level is known as conceptual level, and third level is internal level. Now we see how these three levels working together. First of all, we discuss about what is external level. External level is basically at the highest level of the three-level DBMS architecture. This level describes user view of data. The external view include only those entities, attributes, and relationships that the user is interested in. All other entities, attributes, and relationships may actually be represented in database, but the user will be unaware of them. We are taking an example of employee in a college library will not view the fee detail of the database as they are more interested in information such as book issued or book returned. Now, the next level is conceptual level. Conceptual level is also known as logical level or global view level of data. Basically, this level represented at the middle level of three-level architecture, and this is defined by conceptual schema, which describes all the database entities, attributes, relationship together with constraints and security information. The description of the conceptual level must not contain any storage dependent details. That is, the description of an entity should contain only data type of attributes, for example, character, real, integer, as well as their length. Next, now at the lowest level, we are having internal level. Internal level is basically related to the data and data structures and access methods to be used by the database. In other words, we can say that it holds the all detail about the data. There is only one internal schema per database. The internal schema includes how attributes are represented, how records are sequenced, what index exists, what pointer exists, and what hashing schema, if any, is used. Now, in this diagram, we see how these three levels working together. End users at the external schema. Next we have is conceptual schema. Here next we have is physical level or internal schema. These three levels connected to the database, and we can see here we have is internal conceptual mapping and external and conceptual mapping. Now we have an example of how these working together. In the external level, we have a employee record with the fields employee name, number, salary, department number, and in the global view, we can store it column name with their data types like employee number of type integer 4, ename of type string 15, and in the internal level it basically stores how much data it can store with their data types like employee number 4 decimal offset 0 unique. Now, in the external view, basically several views of the database is defined. A particular view may be limited information out of these records. Now, we will discuss we are having 3 levels and how they are working together. Now, there must be some type of correspondence between these level, and this level correspondence is known as mapping. Now, mapping is basically correspondence between these 3 levels. Now, when we have take an example, when we have a request specified in external level are transformed into the request against the conceptual level, then into a request in the internal level for processing over the database. So, indirectly, each level is correspond to each other for perfect working of a database. We are having 2 type of mapping: conceptual level, internal level, external and conceptual. Now, one more thing I would like to discuss, that is data independence. A major objective of the 3 level architecture is to provide data independence. When we make change in one level of schema of the database, the schema immediately above it require minimal or no need to change. This is known as data independence. Now we are having 2 type of data independence: logical data independence and physical data independence. In the logical data independence, basically you may modify the conceptual schema to expand the database, but the existing external schemas are not changed. Therefore, application programs that use external schemas continue to work even after the conceptual schema undergoes a change. Now we have is a physical data independence. You can change in internal schema without changing in the conceptual schema. So while making changes in the internal schema, we no need to make change in the conceptual schema. We are making changes in internal schema due to improving the performance of retrieval and updation. This is known as physical data independence. Now, one thing more I would like to discuss is why data independence is needed. Conventional systems have a very low level of data independence. That is, even a small change of data structure requires that one has to make changes in several programs. So by introducing multi-level architecture where each level represents one abstraction level makes the data independent. Otherwise, if the data is used by hundred of application programs in a large database system, a small change in structure of database may lead to rewriting all the application program, which may be very time consuming and costly. Thank you.